Hey YouTube, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps. I'm going to go through the second chapter of Bereshit, or Genesis. Um, so I'm just going to start going through it, and then I will go back over it in a little more detail. Chapter 2. When Yahweh of Elohim was making the land and the heavens, or the skies, all of the shrubs of the field were yet to be in the land, and all of the green plants of the field were yet to be springing up, because Yahweh of Elohim had not sent rain on the land, and there was no Adam to work at the Adamah, but springs were going up from the land, and he made at all of the face of the Adamah drink. And Yahweh of Elohim pressed into shape at the Adam of dirt from the Adamah, or the ground, and exhaled or breathed into his nostrils a breath of lives. And the Adam existed for whole creatures of life. And Yahweh of Elohim planted a garden in Eden from the direction of the rising sun, and there he placed at the Adam which he had pressed into shape. And Yahweh of Elohim caused to spring up from the Adamah, or the ground, all of the trees desirable to see and good for food. Now trees of life were in the middle of the sheltered garden, and trees of the experience knowledge of function and dysfunction. And he caused to spring up a river which flows out of Eden, to cause at the sheltered garden to drink, and from there it divides apart, becoming 4 heads. The name of the one is Pishon, which means increase or spread, going around at all the land of the Hawilah, the circular or wreathing motion, languishing village, or exhausted revelation, where there is the gold. And the gold of that land is beautiful, or tov, meaning good or pleasing and functional. And the Bedolach is there, and the Shoham stone. And the Bedolach is possibly a white crystal, and the Shoham stone is possibly onyx. And the name of the second river is Gihon, which means bursting forth. It is going around at all the land of Cush, which means black. And the name of the third river is, hold on just a second, Chidekel, which means sharp, swift, or frivolity, or rapid. It is the one flowing eastward of Ashur, meaning be level, or straight up, or just. And the fourth river, it is the Parat, meaning fruitful, or possibly Euphrates. And Yahweh of Elohim took at the Adam and caused him to rest in Gan Eden, which means garden of pleasure, or extreme satisfaction or luxury, to serve her and to guard and protect her, or it. And Yahweh of Elohim directed upon the Adam, saying, from all the trees of the sheltered garden eating you may freely eat, but from the trees of the experienced knowledge of function and dysfunction you must not eat from them, because truly in the very day, as soon as you eat from them, surely dying you will die. And it's the double use of mot, which would indicate emphasis, like you will die, don't do it. And Yahweh of Elohim said, it is not good for the Adam being by himself. I will make for him a surrounding assistant protector to be face to face to him. And that surrounding assistant protector is from Azer, meaning a companion or opposite corresponding counterpart. And the face to face is from Neged, meaning to be intimate with. And Yahweh of Elohim pressed into shape from the Adamah all of the living of the field, and ate all the flyers of the sky, and brought them to the Adam to see what he will call out to them. And all that the Adam will call out to it, a whole creature of life, that was its title, or the shame or name. So the Adam called out the titles to all the animals, and to all the flyers of the sky, and to all the living of the field. But for Adam there was not found a surrounding assistant protector to be face to him. So Yahweh of Elohim fell as a deep sleep on the Adam, and he slept. And he took a unit of his Selah, meaning either a side, or possibly chamber, or womb, or possibly a penal bone, and closed up the flesh under her. And Yahweh of Elohim built at the Selah which he had taken from the Adam into an Isha, which means woman or wife, and he brought her to the Adam. And the Adam said, finally, at last, this one is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. meaning the foundation, the way to conduct one's life, the substance of life, out of my essence, life from my life. Because of this one, she will be called out Isha, because truly out of Ish this one was taken. Which may or may not be part of the quote, but it's definitely part of the poetry. That is why an Ish leaves at his father and at his mother, and is united with and clings to his Isha, and they become one flesh. And that united with and clings to is from dabak and means forming an inseparable relationship. And they become one flesh, that's echad flesh, meaning they're no longer two differentiated, but they're one unit, they're one being. Well, not necessarily being, but they're one unit, a new family. And the two of them, the Adam and his Isha, were nude, and they were not ashamed or disappointed before one another. Okay, going through my notes. Yahweh, I've explained this in previous videos, but I'm going to nevertheless. Let's see how much time I've got. How am I doing? Oh, I've got some time. Okay. Yahweh, it comes from the Yod, which is masculine, and the pictograph is an arm and closed hand, so it's kind of like this. I don't know if you can see that. To work, throw. Let me see if you can see that. Oh, no, you can't. Oh, well. And the meaning of the letter is to work, throw, or power. And then the next letter is a hey, and it's feminine, and it's a picture of a man with his arms raised saying, look at that. And it means behold, look, and can mean breath, sigh, or reveal. And then there's the wa, which is a masculine letter, and the pictograph is a tent peg, and it means secure, add, or hook. And then the last letter is a hey, and it's a feminine letter, and it means, again, a man with his arms raised saying, look at that, behold, look, breathe, sigh, reveal. So his name is intermingled 4 letters, 2 of which are masculine and 2 are feminine. So his name seems to indicate, and I think this is correct, that he is not only masculine but also feminine in character. But he's above, he's supra-gender, beyond gender, not contained by gender. But in his name, the pictographs of his name give the picture of behold the hand, behold the nail, or behold the nailed hand. So even the name of Yahweh is pointing to the one that he's chosen to be his son. And he's identified as being the loving and merciful deliverer. My next note is on where Yahweh's shaping Adam, the man. It's a potter or a sculptor's term. So it's something that, a term that would be used in pottery or sculpture, which I think is interesting. And let me see what I've got. Might be running out of time. Oh, the Adamah. The note I have on that is it denotes a status rather than a fabric. So it's not necessarily the fabric of the dirt of the ground, but it's the status of the ground. Checking my time really quick. Okay. And the breath from Adamah, not from Adamah, from Yahweh. Would be, breath. Is a word that indicates life from Ale, including conscience and spiritual understanding. And there's a couple scripture verses that you can look up if you want to with that. Mishlei, or Proverbs 20 verse 27, and Eob, or Job 32 verse 8. Next I have the Pishon. Meaning of Pishon is spring about, be scattered, to be strong, increase, spread. Since Moshe was probably the author, or at least the compiler, of the books of the Torah, which this is the first, it would appear that the directions given here would apply at the time of his writing. Next I have Hawila, which denotes a circular reading motion, possibly sand, be firm, endure, or might, languishing village, or exhausted revelation, and connects it to the name Hawa, most likely referring to a person. So that may be a name of a person. Then when I said the Bedoach is maybe an aromatic gum resin, amber, pieces that stick together, or crystal. And I have a quote from the Idra Rabbah which says that it's something white in which all colors are seen, which would seem to indicate a crystal. And when I mentioned Ashur, my note on him is he's the son of Shem, the forefather of the Assyrians. And let me look really quick. My note on the fourth river, the Parat, was also just called the river because of its size and importance, and it seems to be mentioned in Melachim Aleph, or 1 Kings 4, verses 21 and 24. And the main focus of the narrative seems to be on following Yahweh's instructions. So Yahweh gives the instructions: eat of all the trees except this group of trees. I don't want you eating from these. The trees of the experience knowledge of function and dysfunction. He didn't want them to experience function and dysfunction, which is the state that we're all in now, right? Every person experiences function and dysfunction. We don't all function correctly, accurately all the time. So I think that's what he was trying to avoid. But I think it was a test. And I think that he purposely had the test there, and he knew what was going to happen, but I can get into that another time. Then my note on Tadai is Mot or Mut, and truth is Emet, and Tadai is missing the beginning Aleph of Emet, which means truth. Otherwise, they're spelled exactly the same. So if you take away the beginning Aleph of truth, you have Tadai. And Mot is composed of the letters Mem, which is a pictograph of water, which means water or chaos. A Tau, which is crossed sticks, meaning a sign or a mark. And then Mavet, which means death. That's to die, but Mavet is death, and it's a pictograph of a Mem, which again is water or chaos, and a Wa, which is a 10-peg or nail, meaning to secure or add, and a Tau, which is crossed sticks, meaning sign or mark. The end of time for what has died is what the word means. Oh, I'm over time. Okay, I'll continue with this in the next video. Have a good life. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.